Hello everyone. In the previous lecture we were discussing about relationship of constructivism and traditional teaching, which is also called expository teaching, wherein we saw that in traditional teacher is a dispenser of knowledge, whereas in constructivism teacher's role as a coach and a facilitator. And few more points related to constructivism were how communication happens in a group, and that in a traditional teaching communication is with the individuals. Likewise about transmission of information, how students' actions are directed and coached. Then how conceptual relationships are explained, about also about the teacher's knowledge and how the resources are used by the teachers in both the classrooms, that is traditional and constructivist classroom. So let us discuss more about its relationship to traditional teaching or expository teaching. Here today we'll be discussing about how they are different from each other, that is traditional and constructivist classroom, or the approach of teaching is different from each other, by discussing few more points. If you focus on the first one, that as a passive receiver under traditional form of teaching, and under constructivism, that is as self-directed learner. So if you note that as a passive receiver, I hope that all of us are aware what does it mean for a child, uh, or what is actually passive receiving of information. Now, in traditional classroom, passive receiver or receiving the information passively means where there is no involvement of a child in classroom interactions. So, mostly in a traditional classroom, when we focus on a lecture method kind of an approach, or wherein only the teacher talks and the children only listens to the teacher, here there is no interaction between the student and the teacher. So ultimately the students end up being a passive receiver. But unlike traditional classroom, in constructivist classroom a student is a self-directed learner, wherein the teacher's role, as we saw in the previous discussion as well, that the teacher's role is as a coach and a facilitator. But that is a reason that here the students are given the whole and sole responsibility of learning, and they are self-directed learners, as in they decide what they have to learn, how they have to learn, how much they have to learn, and they will be corrected by the teacher only if they are choosing the wrong direction, wrong approach, wrong path, or are misunderstanding the concept. So here the role of the teacher is limited but significant. Now, if you look at the second point, wherein under traditional that records teachers' information, and the next one is processes information. So here the way of transmitting information is again focused on. If you go to see in a traditional classroom, students mostly they are busy in jotting down the points what the teacher has displayed on the slides, or sometimes what the teacher says. So basically the function or the role of a teacher is only to record teacher's information, whatever that is provided by the teacher. Instead, in constructivist classroom, the focus is not on recording the lecture or recording the teacher's information. Instead, the focus is on processing the information, because a constructivist classroom would involve thinking, would make the students think. So, as the teacher is asking the students questions, they would be involved in the class, and in a way they would process the information the teacher is trying to pass on to them. So this is a very major difference. If you have to identify a traditional class and a constructivist class, this will be the major difference which you can easily note. Now, if we go to see the third point, that is memorizes information, and under constructivism interprets, explains, and hypothesizes. Now, as we know that when we talk about or when we think of a traditional classroom, mostly the students go about memorizing the information that they have recorded from the teacher, because the focus is on reproducing the same content which is given by the teacher, and mostly the teachers who follow traditional method of teaching or expository approach of teaching, they would give good marks to those students who can actually replicate what they give, okay, and not those, and would give less marks to those who are trying to write in their own words. But this is something which we should avoid as teachers. Instead, we should focus on interpretation, explanation, and hypothesizing, because if you ask students question or provide them with opportunities wherein they can interpret, explain, and hypothesize, it would be the best way of learning and teaching. Now, the fourth point here is follows teacher directions, isn't it? As we saw in the previous slide as well, the teacher directs the students. So that's how the students also follow what teacher is directing them to. But in constructivist classroom, the students are supposed to design their own activities instead of following what teacher is telling them to do. So it's very important that to note that students play a very important role, a very significant role in a constructivist classroom, wherein they have the freedom to design their own activities instead of following teachers' directions, which we generally see in a traditional classroom. Now, again, the fifth point here is defers to teacher as authority, isn't it? So it's very important that to note that in a traditional classroom, if you see, the teacher holds the position of an authority in the classroom, which is not there in a constructivist classroom, where shares authority for answers, isn't it? So it's very important that the students, each of the participant of the activity who are students, they are equally accountable for whatever activity or whatever work that they are doing in a classroom along with the teacher, because the authority here is shared by everyone for whatever work that they do in the classroom, and not only by the teacher. So it's very important that the authority or the central point or the focus should be moved from the teacher to the student, because student is the center of the teaching and learning process and not the student. So it's a student is the center of teaching and learning process and not the teacher. Okay, please note this, because teacher is only a coach and a facilitator in a constructivist classroom, and based on which all the approaches and all the techniques, okay, or maybe all the strategies that you would be learning in your other papers like teaching approaches and strategies, or maybe some of it in our method as well, would be based on this particular strategy only. That is constructivism. The basic underlying theory of constructivism is a theory on which all the other approaches, strategies, and techniques are built on. So if you understand this basic concept of constructivism, it would be easier for you to note how should be the classrooms, or how you should behave as a teacher, or what are your roles and responsibilities as a teacher when you enter a classroom. So let us go ahead and discuss a few more points about relationship between traditional teaching and constructivist teaching. Now here, if you see, under traditional teaching we can see teacher prescribed activities, and under constructivism is student directed learning. I think the same point we discussed in the previous slide as well, but here the focus more is on activities. So as we know that traditional teaching focuses more on the teacher, so whatever activity that the students would do would be teacher prescribed. Whatever the teacher decides to do in the classroom, the students would go ahead and do the same thing following the directions of the teacher. But instead in constructivist classroom it is opposite, wherein the student is the center of the classroom and the students who do the activities they have designed for themselves, and the role of the teacher is only to guide them. Now the second point is emphasizes worksheets under traditional, and under constructivism directs own learning. Now when we talk about worksheets, definitely worksheet is one of the very important tools of assessing a student's performance, or it can also be one of the activities or a tool which can be used in the activities to make students learn, or for you to understand how much they have understood. Okay, but here when we talk about worksheet is something which is prepared by the teacher. So since we are talking about a traditional classroom, and we know that a teacher's role is considered to be important in a traditional classroom. So the emphasis on worksheets is higher, because worksheet is something which a teacher prepares, and in a worksheet all the instructions and all the activities are pre-decided by the teacher. So in a traditional classroom, worksheets are given more importance too. But in a constructivist classroom, students would decide how they would go about learning, or what strategy or what tool would they use in order to learn a particular concept. So the direction of learning is decided by the students. Now in traditional classroom, all students complete same tasks, isn't it? Since if we just take an example of the worksheet as we discussed earlier, worksheet would be common. Mostly it is common for all the students, but teachers actually can choose to create different worksheets for different students, but that generally doesn't happen. That's why all the students end up completing the same task, and there is no diversity in the work that they do in the classroom. But in a constructivist classroom, the tasks vary among students, because each child has their own creative levels, their own diverse interests, their own diverse ways of understanding a concept or learning a concept. So if you go about understanding constructivist classroom, you would know that the task that the students would carry out in a class of an hour would be very different than that of a traditional classroom, because here the teacher is not the center. Instead, students are the center of the learning, and they play a major role in the teaching and learning process. So that is the reason they come up with various innovative ideas and innovative methods and strategies of learning a particular concept. And we also know that teachers direct the task. This is the same thing, teacher directed learning, teacher directing the task or any activity, which is very common. But here designs and directs the own task. So here designing and directing the own task is done by the students. Now in traditional classroom, if we see absence of items in new orientation, okay. Now when we usually, I don't know how much each one of you have experienced it, but when we think of a traditional classroom, hardly there would be anything new in your classrooms, because the teacher has a particular way or a particular perspective of looking at a topic, and the teacher would continue to follow the same thing throughout the lectures, isn't it? So there will be absence of new items or new ways or ideas which can help a student to learn the concept in a different way, but which is not seen in a constructivist classroom, because here the emphasis is not only on the lecture method or transacting the information, but here the emphasis is on reasoning, reading and writing for meaning, solving problems, building from existing cognitive structures and explaining complex problems. So there are various plethora of activities which can be conducted or on which the emphasis can be laid on, because here the students are working as per their intellectual ability, and as per the intellectual ability, the kind of a work they would do, the kind of a task they would choose, or the way they would design the activities would be different than you as an individual would do as a teacher, because a teacher has sometimes have only a one way of looking at a topic, which is sometimes doesn't match with how students are looking at the topic. So it's always preferable to give the students an opportunity to look at the concept in their own way, and you as a teacher or as a responsible person in the group can take care of whether they are understanding the topic the right way, whether they are choosing the right path, whether they have designed the activity in the right manner or not. So this is how constructivist and traditional classroom differ from each other. If we discuss or focus on the points which are given here, there are few more points in association with these two concepts of traditional teaching in constructivist classroom. Okay, so if you have any doubt regarding the points that we just discussed, okay, you can choose to ask questions in the chat box. We will see few more things associated with traditional classroom and constructivist classroom in the next lecture. Thank you.